Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Friday Not Live. This is the summer, so I am out enjoying my family and the nice weather, and I hope that you have had a break this summer too. But I did want to make sure that I showed up here because that is my commitment to you, to show up on Fridays with a teaching just for you. So today we're doing fiction skills. How fun is that? And I'm going to just start by introducing you to the single term fiction class that I offer and what the learning management platform looks like so that you'll see what your student will be seeing when they go into the program. So first of all, obviously, it's a single term. It's just 12 weeks. It is from September to December, or January to the end of March, or April to the end of June. And every single term has the same program. So this is probably a course that you'll just want to take once because it's as identical as it can be with different students and different amazing ideas. And we do a lot of talking and brainstorming together. It's a fun, interactive, enjoyable class with pretty low amounts of homework. So it's just an enjoyable class, and students really, really love it. And they leave with some amazing skills. So this is not a make sure you write a story every day class. Not at all. Every single week, we have a new skill that I teach, a new skill that we practice in class, and a new skill that your student practices at home. So that's how it works. And I'm just going to share my screen so that I can show you what the learning management system looks like. I am on Google Classroom, and this is the student view for Google Classroom. So your student's profile image would be here. They won't have all of these classes, of course, because they won't be enrolled in all of them, but I'm enrolled in all of them. So this is the stream page, and this is where they're going to see their Zoom link and the dates of the class and all of that. And after they do writing, they're actually going to put their writing into the comments, and then people are going to be able to reply to them. And so that's kind of fun because everyone gets to read everyone else's writing. It's just a great opportunity for everyone to see that it's not just them that struggles, that, other people have great ideas, and some people might have some places that they need to improve, and they might get some ideas about things that they could improve for themselves. So when they're ready to do homework, they move over to classwork. They just tick there. This is what it looks here. Get all your support. That means when they are struggling, they just click here. They click this link, they book right directly into my calendar. I get an email saying that they have an appointment, they show up on Zoom, and I get to help them. So if they're struggling with an idea or a concept or an assignment, they can just come and get some help. They don't have to do it themselves, and they don't have to ever wonder whether they're doing it right and hand it in and find out later. How to use the platform. That's something that we do together in the vision call ahead of the class. And I teach them all of that, but we don't always remember everything we hear, so they can go back and check anytime. Links for the course are Quizlet, Read Theory, whatever, any things that they need for this program. Each week, it has the dates. And you might notice as I go down right now, these have the due dates, but it's not completely done for the entire program yet. So here's what this looks like. And so I will show you what it looks like when they are going to do an assignment. First of all, this first assignment, it doesn't have anything to hand in. It just has a little video for them to watch. And you will notice that it opens directly into the learning management platform. So they are not redirected to YouTube somewhere else. It doesn't autoplay the next thing afterwards. They are not going to be on some other video being distracted or watching something that you probably don't want them to watch. So it's just going to be right here in the learning management system. When they're ready to hand something in, this assignment is something that they're going to hand in. They're going to view the instructions, and all the instructions are here. And they're just going to click over here on the side where it says your work. It's been assigned to me. And every student has their own document. So this one has my name on it because it's my document. And this is their assignment. They're going to follow the instructions. They're going to type it right here, just like that. And then they're going to press, when they're all done, they'll press turn in. If they start it and they don't finish it, they just leave it. Google auto saves, so they don't have to turn it in until they're completely done. And then after they click that button, it will actually ask them again, are you sure you want to turn it in? It's going to hand it into your teacher, and then they have to press turn in again. That easy, it comes to us. We make sure there's feedback on every single assignment. We make sure that they understand that we think what they've done is amazing. We tell them what's great. We tell them how they could improve. And if they have any questions, we definitely answer them. So I'm just going to go back to the page before. And every single one is like that. Some of them have like Quizlet because they're going to learn some vocabulary terms. And you'll just see that there's a week all the way to week 12 right here. And today we are going to do 7.1. So I told you we were going to do one of these assignments together, and that's the fun part of this live. So I just wanted to like quickly just show you what this looks like because I'm so excited to teach your students in the fall. And I also wanted to make sure that we have lots of time to do an assignment together. Now, unfortunately, we can't brainstorm together, which is unfortunate, but we definitely can do this together. So I've opened it on a new sheet over here. This is what they will see when they open it. So the goal is to write 6 to 8 sentences. That's not a lot. Don't expect them to write a lot of sentences. I expect them to edit, revise, change, rework, edit, revise, rechange, rework again and again so that they can improve their sentences. This is about writing process. It's not about, oh, authors just have this great idea and it just flows off the tip of their pen and everything's wonderful. The reality is writers don't do that. Writers think. Writers have ideas. Writers write, change, revise, add things. Then they go back and they do it again and again until it's exactly the way they want it. So I want to see the process. So they will actually do their first write, and then they will copy it down here, and they will change things in it, and then they will copy the second one down here. They will change things, and they will copy the next one down here and change things. So, but you'll see before you write, make sure you imagine your scene. So this is going to be an entrance of a person into a room with some kind of emotion. So there's no speaking. There's just a person entering a room. They're not like talking to someone. They're just coming in. That's all. We don't need a lot of sentences for that. But we want to get the feeling across, and we want the reader to know exactly how they feel. They won't know why, but they're definitely going to know what the feeling is. And they're going to be able to see it. We're not going to tell the reader what they're feeling. So let's just take a look. We're going to start with our pre-writing work. And so maybe let's pick someone who comes into a room angry. I'm sure we've all seen this, or maybe we've seen them exit the room angrily too. So let's do an angry one. It's actually much easier to do a negative emotion than it is to do a positive emotion. So students who want to show like someone being kind, that's very, very difficult. Very difficult because kindness is a long-term action and it's gentle and subtle, and anger and malice and greed and all of those things, they are very outward. And so it's very easy to see them. So we're going to choose one that's pretty easy to do. So let me see. It says to think of describing words, vivid verbs, notes, what you really want the reader to see and feel. So what do I want the reader to see and feel? I want them to feel the stress and the anger just like coming in waves off this person that's coming into the room. And that's what I want them to feel. And so let me see, what verbs could I use? Well, I'm not going to say she came into the room. Like, that's not a very good verb. How did she come into the room? And when I ask students, they will immediately say angrily. She came angrily into the room, but that's not what I mean. That's describing the verb. That's an adverb, and it's telling us what the feeling is. So right away, we're not going to use that word. So she might come in, she might stomp in, she might burst through the door, she might slam the door. What else might she do? She might huff. She might throw her bag down. We might come up with a better idea for that. Throw her bag down. Okay, those are some verbs that we might use. And what would she look like if she was angry? What's her face look like? What do her hands look like? What's happening in her body? Is she like, she's not all relaxed. She's like tense, her fists, and she's scowling. Maybe she has a red face. So we'll say scowl, red-faced, tense, okay? And like what? So this is something I ask my students. Like what? She's scowling like what? She's tense like what? Okay, what does she come into the room like? So maybe she comes in like a storm cloud or a tornado. Okay, maybe she's like a lion ready to pounce. That would go really nicely with tense. Okay, so those are some things that we could use. Remember, we only have 6 to 8 sentences, so we don't want too much anyway, but it's always good to have some words to start with. So what is going to happen in this sentence? She, let's just start with what most students are going to start with, comes angrily into the room and throws her book bag on the ground. Maybe we'll say, and slams the door. She throws her book bag on the ground with a huff. How's that? Okay. You know, that's already not bad, right? That's already not bad. You definitely get the idea. But then we're going to take this piece, we're going to copy it down here, and we're going to change it. She comes angrily. We don't want comes. That's a bad verb. And we're not going to say angrily because obviously it's angry because that's what we're showing. So she does what? She stomps or she bursts. Bursts into the room. Oh, she bursts into the room like what? Like a tornado. And slams the door. She throws. Throws isn't a very nice word. She why is she throwing the bag? So instead of like just looking for a synonym for throws, like jettisons, or like we don't want to just make a complicated word and just replace it. Why is she throwing her bag? She's throwing her bag because she's like letting out emotion, right? So maybe she releases her storm as her book bag slams to the ground. And then we'd have to take out with a huff. Maybe we could put this somewhere else. She bursts with a huff into the room like a tornado and slams the door. So already, most students, grades 5 to 8, this would already be amazing sentences. So when I'm in class, I'm very careful to write what they give because I'm going to come up with ideas and I'm going to like sift through them in my brain and leave the poorest ideas behind before I write it down. So I'm very careful in class to make sure that I'm using their words, their ideas, so that they see that we put their ideas down. And then in the next step, we're going to edit them and change them. So we have already added analogies. This is what I mean. It's easy for me to just like jump and do all the pieces together, but they need to do it step by step. So we have already done the step 3 actually in this piece. And then we're going to put it down here. So we'll do the 4th right. So then we're just going to add to it. Is there something we could add? Is there any feeling we could add? What happens when her bag slams on the ground? Causing the vase on the table to tip precariously. What do her eyes do? Her eyes, what eyes look like? Her eyes, we've already got storm. Her gray eyes dare us all to comment so she can pounce like a lion. There we go. So we've even added a little bit more. And now how many sentences do we have? 1, 2, 3. This is absolutely fine. It doesn't have to be 6 to 8 sentences. We have fulfilled the purpose of these sentences. Now, most students want to write more, and they may want to try and do this again and do it with a different topic, and that's good too. So, but then they're going to take this piece and they're just going to paste it into the community on the stream, and then other people will be able to comment directly on it and say, oh, I love this part. I really like that. This was really awesome. And I coach them about how it's not there for them to critique. It's there for them to say what they love about it. So we talk about that again and again, that we are here to encourage each other, not to critique, that they will get feedback on their assignment, and that will help them to improve. But mostly students are not giving feedback for improvement. So this is what we do in our assignments. So we will do this in class, and we'll do it all together. And then very often they will jump into breakout rooms, 2 or 3 breakout rooms, and they will work together as a team, and they will do one of these together, and then they'll bring it back and we'll read them all together. And it's a lot of fun. So this class, I still have some spaces in it for the fall. If you are looking for just a fun way to start the fall and give your student something light and fun that's just going to get them thinking and writing and improving their sentences, fiction is a great idea, and fiction is not a waste. It is an important skill to be able to consider, to think, to revise, to edit, to recognize that the editing process is an ongoing process. It's not something that just happens. Writing doesn't just happen. It's a long process. So thank you so much for joining me today. Please leave comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts, your questions, your ideas. If you want to get in this class, book a call with me right away. I will put a link and you can book a call. You're going to have to book a little bit into my calendar, but go ahead, book into the calendar. The only thing that matters is there will be no late registrations, and the class starts on September 11th. So this is getting very close to the cutoff. So book in for the week right after Labor Day, as early as you can. And if you can't find a time that on my calendar that is going to work for you, because I'm doing a lot of vision calls with students that week, just drop me an email and we'll work at a time and we'll figure something out. I'll probably have to open some extra slots that week. So thanks so much for being here. Thanks for joining me, and thanks for choosing Discern to Learn for your students. I really appreciate you. You are awesome parents. Thank you very much for being here today.